Hey guys, what up? It's your boy Khan TDK, Mr. So Real, and apparently a lot of people liked the last State of the Game video series that I did, and I said that I wasn't going to cover the State of the Game that happened late last night for me unless there was some information worth talking about. Now, there are a few things that I think are worth talking about and worth mentioning, and there are the usual things that didn't really happen, but there are a couple tidbits, a few minor things that kind of made it in. So, we're going to talk about that today. So, let's get started.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to State of the Game for August 2015. You'll notice that this is a little bit different from
2015,
usual.
you said.
2015, I said 2015.
Yeah.
Sure.
I just want to make sure we are,
This
correct
isn't a
about this.
rebroadcast.
25th.
It's 2016, right?
Yeah, it's the year
All right.
2016 and August 25th.
Off to a great start, Hamish.
Yes.
Well done. So, update 1.4 is coming in October.
In October. Yes.
Survival will be out later in the year.
Survival will be out later, exactly. So that's the big thing. We are actually separating Survival from Update 1.4. They should have been released in the same time. We are actually going to push Survival and have just Update 1.4 come out in October.
Yes.
All right, so update 1.4 is coming in October. We got a month. We got a month to wait until this new update comes. And the survival DLC, which is paid as far as I can remember, is coming out later. It's coming out after the 1.4 update. The train, it's back. Okay. So yeah, the 1.4 update is coming in October, and that is the key point of this week's State of the Game. You may be asking yourself, well, what is in the 1.4 patch? What are we expected to get? And what is being changed? So let's let them explain.
Last week, you would have remembered that we talked about a lot of the issues that are in the game, of which there are many, you guys know.
Yep.
We can't wait any longer to
Yep.
take care of those, right? We need to get those things sorted before we release new content.
Yes.
We don't want that new content to have those issues.
Yep.
And we don't want the core game that
Yep.
we have right now to have those issues,
Yep.
because we want to get back to making the Division really fun in the end game experience, because, and we've talked about this a lot on the stream, 1 to 30 feels great.
It does.
And then you hit 30 and something changes. We need to fix that, and obviously a few other things as well. There's bugs, there's some quality of life things. We'll talk about those in a second. But just so you know, to reiterate, the next patch, the next update is going to be update 1.4, which will fix a lot of the core issues in the game.
Yeah. So
Probably not all, just for expectations, but we want to focus on really improving the core of the game before we move on to new content, which would be survival, the next one.
So 1.4 is aimed at fixing the core experience, which means they need to fix the game dramatically. I think that this is a good idea, because the core experience from where I'm sitting is straight garbage. It's a lot of repetitive things that happen, and there aren't a lot of really fun activities when you compare them to a lot of other shooters. It's a lot of the same stuff over and over again, where you just kind of grind for loot, and that's pretty much about it. I really can't think of anything else like this. I don't really see where getting the loot is going to take you. Like, okay, let's say you have the greatest build ever, then what? There needs to be something that goes on after that, and I think the core mechanics to the game really do need some adjusting in terms of what do they really want the game to be. Is it going to be just an RPG where you collect loot, or is it going to be more of an action-based shooter? What team play skills, like what should you be doing in the game, and can they correct a lot of the missteps that the game has had so far to make the game a more enjoyable experience. That's what they're shooting for with 1.4. Can they do it?
A lot of internal conversations around this topic have been, happening over the past few months. And we need to do it. It has to happen.
Yeah.
So there have been internal talks about changing the game for the past couple of months. It's kind of funny that we're just hearing about these internal talks about completely changing the game that have been happening for the past couple of months. A lot of this stuff really seems like it's so late that I really kind of wonder why now? Why now are they discussing the core elements of the game, like the entire game? I mean, when you really talk about the core elements of the game, that means the entire game. Like what the game actually is. And that's a lot, which kind of seems like they really want to completely overhaul the game and change a lot of things and basically change the game. I'm kind of hoping for like a reboot in a lot of ways. There's a lot of things that I would like to see changed about the game. And if they've been talking about it for months, that means that some things are done. Don't kid yourself and don't fool yourself and say, well, they're going to do all of this in a month. They ain't doing all of this in a month. Some of this shit is already done. So expect that some things are already in place and ready to go. And then other things will be tweaked and adjusted. Some of this stuff is done. Just kind of understand that. They may not have been talking about it and they may not be telling us every little thing, but I'm 100% sure they can't rewrite the game in a month. A lot of this stuff has been in the works and is done already. So I guess we'll see how this all plays out.
I see in the chat there's discussion about October. Yeah, I know that the expectation was on September on survival. We want to take the time to actually make this right. That's also the thing. We don't want to commit to dates and just like release something that is not of quality or as good as a quality as we would want it to be. So we're going to take the time until October to work only on, again, core experience, bug fixing, balancing, and everything.
Exactly.
And
sorry. You.
Yeah. I hope you guys caught that. They are putting everything on hold. Those higher ups, whoever in charge of this stuff, man, they came down hard. They said, stop whatever it is you doing and fix this game. I guess they got the memo. Either Ubisoft or the management at Massive, somebody said, forget the new DLC. We won't even have people to play the game if you don't fix the actual game and make this a lot better of an experience for everyone.
There have been things that we've addressed with trying to, in terms of balancing mostly, and even in bug fixing, but we've tried to address this as fast as possible, which means that we had some tweaks, some balancing tweaks, some small bug fixes here and there that were not always addressing the big picture. No, that's what we want to do. We want to look at the big picture, the whole experience, the entire fun aspect of the game, and all these kind of things. We don't want to try to go too fast and actually just fix the small things here and there, or the small symptoms. We actually want to fix the whole system.
Exactly, because I mean, what we've done in the past, like you said before, is a few tweaks to a few little things, but and I think you guys agree. I know that you do. The issues that we have right now are not with one like little individual packets of issues, right? And you can't just go and fix one, fix another one.
Yep.
We need to focus on how those all interact. For example, enemy scaling and how it affects ammo and how it affects everything, right? Especially at level 35 when things have become inflated to the point where the system doesn't work.
Yeah.
Not just the one feature, but the system.
Yeah, so pretty much the smaller fixes aren't working. Not everyone knew that. It wasn't that obvious. They were trying to play catch up. They were trying to fix bugs that people were complaining about, but they weren't solving the actual root of the problem. And yeah, this is really going to be the first real fix and real update fix to deal with a lot of the problems that have plagued the game since day one.
One very quick thing, I see people saying, does that mean it's going to be November for PS4? No, update 1.4
No.
will be a free update and it will be releasing at the same time for everyone.
Yep. Free update.
Free update.
All right.
Yeah.
Say it again. Free update 1.4 in October for everyone.
Yes.
On all platforms at the same time.
So the 1.4 update will be free for everyone. This is pretty much a balancing patch, similar to how some of the other balancing patches were. They came out free, and they just changed the overall experience of the game, and they fixed a lot of the issues and problems with the game. Now, this will come out on all platforms, as they said, for everyone, and it is not something that you have to pay for, which is really good. But Survivor is going to be a paid DLC. Will the game be something you want to play and pay that money for? I guess we're going to see about that. Depends on how well they fix the game, I guess. Maybe some people will come back. Maybe.
I see a lot of people saying, are they going to nerf this? Are they going to nerf that? Or are they going to buff this or that? Again, the point of 1.4 is going to be to address, again, the big picture. So it's not just going to be about nerfing Sentry or nerfing shotguns, because this is actually the meta right now, and then we end up with another meta. The point of 1.4 is actually to address the overall experience, the entire experience. So there's going to be a lot of tweaks here and there, not just tweaks, but complete, like, even in some games, almost redesign of some of our features to actually really address the whole experience for everyone. So it's going to be much more than just like buff and nerfs here and there. It's going to be a complete change.
So this was really interesting, and I want everyone to really pay attention and keep track of the words that were used in that last section. Redesigned, complete change. Redesign, complete change. Some things, not everything, but some things in the 1.4 patch will address the overall experience. There will be some redesigns and complete changes to the game. That really tells me that they are going to overhaul the game, and it hopefully, I'm really fingers crossed here. Hopefully it's going to be a new game that is a lot better than what we got day one. Will this kind of change the way that a lot of media outlets view the game? Will this change a lot of the opinions that people who left the game will have if they look at it from the outside again, or kind of reconsider it? I don't know. And really, with the timing and other games like Battlefield right around the corner, I think in October, the clock is ticking. The clock is ticking, baby. And I wish you good luck, but the game really has to change and be a lot more fun. Like, a lot more fun. Not even a little bit. It's got to be a lot more fun, because other people are going to be off doing other things. That's kind of the reality of it. The reality of it is there are a lot of people who have trauma. They've given up. They don't want to play the game anymore. They said, fuck the Division. I'm done with this. Those people probably aren't coming back. So you can forget them. You can write them off. They ain't coming back. The people who said, well, you know, I'll when they fix some of the problems, I'll come back. I'll give it another shot. Those people may come back if another better game isn't out at the time that their friends are playing. Rise of Iron should be out by then. Destiny is waiting. Battlefield coming. So this whole redesign and this core mechanic fix. I hope it's extremely good, and it has to be. It's going to have to be a show-stopping, extremely good, fun experience for them to pull a lot of people back to the game and to keep people playing the game after all of this new stuff comes out.